Ven, sedúceme. Ven, sedúceme. Quiero un poquito de ti. 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 Ella es mi princesa de la noche. Pégate poquito y mami ven sedúceme. Solo quiero un momento y quiero más seducción de tu cuerpo. Déjame quitarte pantalón, hacerte el amor, enseñarte quién soy yo. Quiero un poquito de ti, nena, y ya tú sabes lo que tengo por ti, mamá. Si frente a él tú sabes lo que yo puedo hacer. Si tú tienes un hombre, él me va a conocer. So dime si tú lo quieres, porque esta noche yo soy tu hombre y ya tú sabes quién es. Ven, sedúceme. Ven, sedúceme. Quiero un poquito de ti. 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 Ven, provócame. Sedúceme. Ven, provócame. Sedúceme. Ven, sedúceme. Ven, sedúceme. Quiero un poquito de ti. 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 Ya tú sabes quién es ella. Ya tú sabes quién es ella. Rompe el catastrona.
Yes, sir. We are live and ready to go. How are we feeling, Mets fans? Let's get this party started. So, of course, you already know over the weekend, the New York Mets swept the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it did not go without an event. You guys already know about the scuffle, punches thrown, or whatever happened between Jeff McNeil and Francisco Lindor. It started on Friday after a miscommunication, and what that proceeded to do was put the media in a frenzy. Started acting like misbehaved children, not knowing what's going on. And then it proceeded to light a fire under the Mets. Francisco Lindor went on to hit the game-tying home run. And then Mazika went and won that game for us. The next day, Jeff McBatflips, Jeff McSquirrel, Jeff McNeil, Jeff McRaccoon, whatever you want to call him at this point. But Jeff McNeil hits a 2-run home run on Saturday to get us started and going. And it was a bullpen game, and I'll talk about the bullpen in a minute. But that was magnificent from them. And Lindor goes ahead and, he gets, some more action going, gets on base, steals his 100th base of his career, and the ball gets deflected into the outfield. So he proceeded to go ahead and score off of that. And the Mets will go on and win on Saturday. A pretty good game from the bullpen all around the entire weekend. And then on Sunday, Jacob, the MVP, went on the mound, and he was all right. He did have a look on his face like something was wrong, like he was trying to kind of stretch out something, but he was fighting through it, battling through it. Got on base, was moving around the bases, got bunted for a hit. He was moving. And we're going to get a little bit into Jacob deGrom and, how sometimes this happens, during the year. And it's been happening for quite some time as well. So I believe he'll be all right. If something was really wrong with him, he's gone on a disabled list for a long time before. I believe it was 2016 that happened to him. So if something was really, really wrong, we would have saw that. But I don't think that's the case. But we'll get into that. So he had to leave the game in the 6th inning. So he go ahead. He does the 5th. He had to exit in the 6th. They didn't let him continue. He wanted to continue. You saw that from him, but they didn't let him continue. So, boom, he moves on. You take him out, bring in the pen. It was Miguel Castro. The guy is nails, man. The guy went in there and, it was a little shaky. I think the bases were loaded, but he gets out of it. There's not enough can be said about the contributions from Miguel Castro, Yuri's Familia, Trevor May, and the rest of the bullpen. Even Jacob Barnes, even though he gives up a home run, almost every appearance he makes. But, they called up Tommy Hunter for the weekend, and he was mowing them down, putting in work. He was the opener on Saturday. Friday, he came in and shut it down, gave 2 relief innings. Gazelman has been locked down, shut down. Even though he gave up a run, but he shut it down from there. Quality innings from the pen, which is something we could not have said the last couple of years. And that is huge. For us this season is one of the reasons why we are in first place. On the downside, Pete Alonso did not get a hit, but he got on base for the series. Dom Smith was another one, believe had a down series. Conforto drove in a couple runs, did better. Didn't leave as many men on base this time as before. As the Cardinals series. Did good for the Philly series, only left 2 men on base. The Cardinals series was a lot worse. But this series, he flashed the glove. He showed why he's worth the money. And the Mets got to get that deal done. They got to come together and get that done, because I don't know what more you could ask from someone who's come up in our organization, is a homer, he's one of us. So I don't think we, should give up on that. The ERs, Kevin Pillar and Jonathan Villar, have come up aces. getting on base, getting base hits, driving runs, playing good defense. I mean, that is exactly what you expected from these guys when they were first signed. Now, we didn't expect them to be playing as much as they're playing now, but we did expect them to contribute. We did expect them to go ahead and put in the work that they went and they put in. So kudos to them. Big heads up to them. The ERs showed up and basically, did their thing. On the injury front, Brandon Nimmo and JD Double Davis should be on the way back when they're eligible for the weekend series against Tampa. So you can look out for that. That's going to be huge. Getting those bats back. We need a full, healthy lineup because we need to get this offense picking up. We cannot continue to depend on, pitching and defense the entire season. You have to have a balance. Right now, the balance is tipping in the favor of starting pitching and defense. But we see that, there are knickknacks throughout the year that's going to happen. Some pitchers are going to feel, stiff, and some guys are going to feel like this hurts, that hurts. We got to have next man up and ready. You get what I mean? So, that was, we got to get these bats going. Big time got to get these bats going because, these bats are too good. The offense is too good to be sitting there looking like, confused, lost. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what we're doing. Oh, man, what the hell? Hold on. All right. Being blocked due to copyright issues. What copyright issues? I don't know what was going on just now. Hopefully we got it fixed. But like I was saying, so we need these guys back on. We need these guys back on offense because it is important. We have to have a balance. We have to have, guys, on the offensive side doing their thing, carrying the load. We need guys on the defensive side doing their thing, carrying the load. And we need guys on the pitching side doing their thing, carrying the load, basically. So, what that's like, what that is. So, That is very, very important, very crucial to have JD Davis and Brandon Nimmo back for the Tampa series. Pitching wise, you could not have asked for more from guys like Marcus Stroman, Taiwan Walker. This Mets rotation so far, David Peterson is struggling. He's going through his year two struggles. And those struggles are basically coming off the strength that he's facing batters he didn't face last year. So last year he was successful, had 6 wins, and was successful against guys in basically the eastern region of the United States, basically. So Atlanta, Miami, New York, basically the Yankees, right? Toronto, Boston, basically those guys who we were facing. So we were facing our guys and then we were facing their guys over a 60 game season, right? So Philly, Washington, those are the teams we faced all Baltimore. Those are the teams that we faced last year. Tampa, we're facing the AL East again in interleague play, but now we're just facing the rest of the league. And the rest of the league hasn't seen him yet, and the rest of the league hasn't seen us yet, right? Well, him yet. So now that they're getting a chance to see him and they're seeing him for the first time, they're having success off of some of his mistakes. So there's that, right? And you just hope and wish that these things can get cleared up, because you just want him to succeed. We saw what he did last year. As a lefty, we need one in the rotation at least, and he is good. He has poise. He has a different kind of poise to him. That poise would kind of just was on the iffy side this last time because of the simple fact that it just, he was walking the ballpark and we needed to win the game. He gave up 3 runs at that point. So it was like, yeah, we can't sacrifice more runs. I mean, you get down 4-0, 5-0, and then you got to climb back through that. And that's tough. That's tough to come back, especially nowadays with the extra innings is not, with the runner starting on second and stuff like that. So there's a new element, a new strategical element added to the game, which, it's pretty much is what it is. You get what I mean? It's an advantage for the away team when you're on the road, and when you're at home, it just puts more pressure for you to either give your closer an extra inning, or in a situation where you want to give your closer rest, you're gonna probably have to go. It puts a little more strain on the pitching side, and it's not real baseball, quote unquote. Doesn't mean I like the rule. Obviously when it goes against us, I hate it. But when it's advantage us, I'll take it. The Mets were a team for a very, very long time that used to struggle when it came to extra innings. Couldn't get guys on base. Couldn't get it done. Couldn't get it happen. Couldn't get the bats going. And when you put that man on base starting, in extra innings, I guess it's been working. It's worked for us this season. We've only lost one of those games. And I believe we were the home team. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But, we've won the majority of the games that we played with the men on base to start an extra inning. So you could say that it's benefiting the Mets. Just like if we had the DH, that would benefit us as well. There's hits and misses to everything. We don't like to change the game too much, but at the end of the day, changes are gonna come. They're gonna happen. Guys want, owners want the game to speed up and this and that, and so we get the point, right? Especially in the colder months, right? So it is what it is. You know, um, the news today was received. Jacob DeGrom. Again, MRI revealed no tears, no nothing, just soreness. So they're gonna, R&R, hit him with the R&R, let him rest it. It is a sore muscle, and I guess if it's hurting him, they can put him on the IL and then let him do the 10 days, date it back to the 10th, which is today, and then just go ahead and give him the 10 days of rest, so he can come back, for the Miami series, which I believe is at home, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think we have a doubleheader for that one as well. So, that's good news. I said earlier, this is something that's not new for Jacob DeGrom. So in 2016, he got hurt. I forgot what it was. It was a very incomplete season for him. In 2017, he pitched, was pretty much middle of the line, got his innings in. But you already know the deal with DeGrom, with the innings and the runs scored and the run support. And, it just is what it is. But in 2018, it became more of a real big problem. Where that's not being able to score runs when he pitched. And then, I guess, he made adjustments and he got better. But certain pitchers, they have their moments when they, have a tweak here, have a tweak there, and they need time to kind of rest that. You have 30 starts. It's a marathon, not a race. Last year was a race, and it was, he still went through that a little bit, right? And you saw what happened when he kind of rushed it. He didn't look good at the end of the season, right? It was a race, so he wanted to come back and be able to pitch, and he couldn't really do it the best of his abilities. So that's where that kind of, this year it's happening again, so it happened in 18, it happened in 19, it happened in 20, and it's happening again this year where he needs a break. This is a guy who's a beast. He is a monster with his craft. He is a methodical, absolute crazy person with his work ethic. And, he's been ticking, the uptick in the velocity also has something to do with it. So the harder you throw, the more sore you get, basically, right? But he's a beast. And you know what? I'd rather have him rest that, we have arms, get an arm up here, let them get an inning in or whatever. He'll skip a start. If it means he's going to skip a start and that's what has to happen for him to feel better and come back and be 100%, fine. Let him miss a start. If it goes to 2, okay. If it goes to 3, then I'm worried. But for right now, they're talking 1 start. So let's take that. Let's take the 1 start. Give him a break. Give him a rest. Listen, Aaron Judge is getting days off for soreness. So same thing, right? This is a pitcher we're talking about. So, this is our best pitcher. One of the best pitchers in the game. You're not trying to lose him for the rest of the season because you're trying to, be thirsty and win games. So that's not the best idea to go with. So there's that. For the series, we start a 2-game series tomorrow and Wednesday. Short 2-game series. John Means and Matt Harvey would take the mound for the Baltimore Orioles, which is an Orioles team that I wouldn't sleep on. They're on the come up. They have the best, one of the best. I think it's them in Detroit, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. The best minor league systems in Major League Baseball. They're up there. They have a lot of young talent on the come up. And Baltimore has a couple guys that you got to really keep your eye on. Cedric Mullins, Ryan Mountcastle, the return of, their first baseman. Well, he was outfielder, but I guess they got him playing some first baseman with Trey Mancini. Um, and it's good to have him back. Welcome back. Glad he's okay. Glad he's feeling well. Um, so them boys is coming in town, and they put a beating on us last year. Though we came back in one of those games, but we struggled against them last year, which was bizarre. Same thing with Miami, though it wasn't. Yeah, same thing with Miami. These are teams, again. When you have teams that's gonna come up with nothing to lose, those are some of the most dangerous teams to face because they have nothing to lose. If they lose, what's expected. But if they fight their butts off to prove people wrong, and it's that fight when you have nothing to lose that really puts an extra thing into it. So those are some names to look at. Cedric Mullins is having a breakout season, so look out for him. And Ryan Mountcastle's another guy, and they got a couple veterans sprinkled around there as well. They have a good team. On the offensive side, pitching side, John Means threw a no-hitter his last time, though there were, reports and video footage saying that he was using a foreign substance, but I have heard nothing from Major League Baseball on that. I've heard nothing in the news reports about that. So it's something that was, passed through social media and people were talking about it. Whether something comes up later, I don't know. Major League Baseball is really trying to crack down on foreign substances, so they're taking balls out of play. So will we hear something about it later on? That's a possibility. It's possible that we'll hear something on that. It's not out of the realm of possibility that something won't come up later on the John Means, is he cheating or not. Then Matt Harvey, the return of the Dark Knight. He comes back, and that's something to also, keep an eye on. He's going to pitch with some extra motivation, extra emotion is going to be there. But again, I wish him well. I wish him the best. Same thing with Steven Matz. I do not for Zach Wheeler. Well, Zach Wheeler was a different story. He was pretty much a douche on the low. Reports, were like that. He was kind of like a pessimistic kind of guy. He struggled a lot with his injury, and he was very testy, and those were some of the reports that came out about him while he was with the club. But things changed, attitudes change, and he got his bag, but still don't like him when he faces us and beats us. But he's a good pitcher. He showed that his last two seasons in 18 and 19 before going to the Phillies in 20. And I think he did that on purpose, to be honest. It was like, hey, the Philly's willing to give me the money. It was, not an AA pitcher, but he has AA pitcher stuff, and he's, for the Phillies, actually pitched like an AA pitcher, sometimes even better than their A pitcher. But I wish all the guys that come through our team and that we root for good. But again, we root for the name in the front. We root for the laundry, like Seinfeld says. We root for the laundry. And that's really what it is. But Matt Harvey back in Queens on Wednesday to pitch against the Mets. First time he's ever pitched against us, by the way. He's pitched for the Angels. I think he had a cup of tea in Oakland's farm system. He pitched for the Royals. And now the Orioles. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So that's gonna be very interesting, very fun to look at. Fighting in the clubhouse. I'm not against it, man. Listen, I'm not saying that people should be punching each other in the face every single day. One, I'm for respect. Respect people as long as it's not disrespectful, fine. But if guys we're competing and we're trying to we gotta kind of slap each other to get each other pumped up and hyped up. We gotta go through it sometimes. Brothers fight. It happens. And I think that's what this situation was. And we've seen this before in the past. A-Rod and Jeter didn't like each other, but we knew they didn't like each other, but they went on the field and acted like nothing happened. I'm pretty sure Yankee fans wish that they slapped each other in the face a couple times, get each other hype, maybe make each other play better, win more. But that wasn't the case. Well, with these guys, with Lindor and McNeil, they went in the tunnel, and I guess that's the motto. I'm looking for the right shirt, the perfect shirt that says "Meet me in the tunnel." I know a couple brands are trying to come out with that shirt. When I find the right one, I'm gonna get one because that's the motto of this team. They're not gonna ruin their image on camera on the field, but meet you in the tunnel. You can meet me in the locker room. We can fight. I don't know if grown men still fight in the shower. I think that's jail stuff, so I don't think they do that. But then again, I don't know. I mean, Canseco and McGuire used to poke each other's butts in the shower back in the day, so who the hell knows? But listen, fighting happens. Guys have gotten success off that. Push each other. Try to make each other better. Shaq and Kobe, perfect example. Guys who used to really get on each other's cases. Eventually they had to get split up. But hey, listen, they won championships. They won together, But they just felt like life was better without than with for themselves. So, it happens. It happens. Again, just these are things that tend to happen from time to time. We just don't see them. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. This time it happened, and the result was perfect. The result was guys started getting their stuff together, and that's what you want to see. Guys get their head out their ass and start playing like they fucking mean it. Passion. That's what it looks like to me. If it's something else deeper than that, then maybe they should figure it out. If they really need to put some more hands on each other in private, then they should get that out of their system and play ball. Because right now, the ultimate goal is to win a championship. So figure it out. If that's still an issue. I mean, if not, then who the hell cares? But, so that was what that was over the weekend. And the beef with the media, last thing before we go, the media has just, my beef with the media is not about the individuals, being bad people. They're not bad people. They're just doing their jobs. But it's a thing to do your job and then a thing to make it your thing to continuously pump negative shit about a team. And I know a lot of guys have given them flat, but they're just doing their jobs. Come on now. How you going to get mad at them for doing their jobs? Is what they do. Obviously, you know that. That's not my point. Of course, that's their job. I expect them to do that. It's New York. They got to hold that reputation close, right? But the issue comes with, don't be fucking one-sided with your comments. If you're going to go ahead and pump negative stuff, pump up the positivity too. This is a team that fired their hitting coach before they got to St. Louis. Midnight Sunday, fired their hitting coach. Going to St. Louis, got to turn that around. Lost the first game, though came out offensively very, very well. Lucchesi just didn't have his stuff. That was a series that could have been, other than, because even the Marcus Stroman lost in the doubleheader was one of those like, oh, damn, kind of head scratchers there. Error by Lindor, which allowed the 2-run home run and, put the game out of reach. But again, this is a team that went 4-2 on a road trip, came back home and cleaned out the Diamondbacks, right? Now we got 2 against the Birds, and we got to, go ahead and, split. Anything less than a split will be a disappointment. And that's the truth. This is the Baltimore Orioles. This is what we do. We got to beat on these teams, We can't make like the Yankees and start losing to the Orioles because that doesn't help anybody. So, yes. Do I expect Matt Harvey to be the best that he could be? Yes. Will he win? He shouldn't. But I wouldn't be surprised. It happens. Against John Means, I think John Means is going to get his face kicked in because, I mean, it just is. If he comes in there and beats us up, and hey, he's coming off a no-hitter, and he's finally showing that he got what it takes. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But again, this is a team that's basically 7-2, dating back to that series against the Phillies, and we've been fighting and scrapping the entire time. We didn't scrap in St. Louis, but we fought. We showed life in St. Louis, especially that getaway game. When Lindor finally broke out of that offer, and now he come back home and he's cooking. So now he's gonna take off and things are gonna get better, and that's what we hope for, right? If things start getting a little bit more funky, then he needs to reevaluate his approach and get it going, right? Pitching wise, guys that are coming back, Seth Lugo is on tap to come back. Well, first is Nimmo Davis. Lugos follows that. Carrasco follows that. And Noah Syndergaard in mid-June. Prepare yourselves for that because it's going to be bananas when we have all that pitching and all those guys coming back. Perfect time. Give it a month or so to evaluate where we are, to see if once that trade deadline comes, what we got to do. If we got to add offensively, which most likely I expect that to be the case. Who is gone? I hope nothing significant, but again, we root for Laundry. So we got to really be able to handle that. We got to handle losses as well as gaining, good stuff. So handle the losses as well as we handle our gains, and we'll come out all right, at the end of the day. So again, Baltimore on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Tampa over the weekend before we go to Atlanta. So we basically go on a tour of the Dirty South. So it's basically Tampa, Atlanta, Miami, before we come back home and face, I think, Washington or Philly. I'm not sure. But it's going to be a nice little tour of the Dirty South. We got to go ahead, we handle some business down there, and then come back home. So again, guys, we'll be back here on Thursday, recap the Baltimore Orioles series, and then get ourselves ready for the defending AL champs, Tampa Bay Rays. So again, guys, you already know, much love. I'm your boy Rompe, and again, let's get it going, man. Hasta mañana.